And so some of you know who she is. Like some of you follow her and you're inspired by her daily, and some of you don't. And if you don't, you want to friend her on Facebook or at least follow her because she's incredible and she just has so much wisdom poured out all the time. And so I know I like looking to your page for inspiration and encouragement, and it fills me up. So I know I'm not alone here. And so Ash, I want you to just tell us about you. When just a quick, like, when did you start? What rank are you? Just a little quick intro, and then we'll get into the meat.
Okay, so hello everybody. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you, Sam, for asking me, and I love your blue hair. I'm going blue this week too. So, and hey, all of y'all. So yeah, I got started with this opportunity in May of 2013. I'm 28 years old, and I am a triple diamond with It Works and top earner for the past 2 years. And I'm just really humbled by the journey that God has had me on. And I got started, I was working at In-N-Out Burger, and I was just tired of living paycheck to paycheck and, you know, that whole spill. And so I was 25 at the time, and I just wanted to change my life. And so I heard about It Works through my sponsor posting about it online on Instagram and all that. And at the time, her and Ronessa was just still working at her job, you know, not the number 4 earner or anything. So it's just crazy to see everyone's journeys, you know, through the last couple of years. And so got started and, you know, went diamond, got the 10K bonus, went double diamond, got the 15K bonus at the time, and went triple, got the 50K bonus. And so it's just been a great ride. It's been amazing.
Wow.
That's the short version.
Short version. That's so incredible. I mean, I've loved following your journey. It's just so amazing to see what God does. And, you know, one thing that we talk about a lot is how we can't compare each other's journeys because they're all different and unique and beautiful. I would love to just kind of ask you, like, I guess to go into more depth, like when you first started, what was your first goal? Because I know when I started, in a lot of us, like my goal was like, I just want to make an extra $500. Like I never imagined we'd be where we are today, right? So when you started, what was your first goal? And then like, when did it shift? Like when did you realize what this could become?
Okay, so my first goal honestly sounds really vain, but it was to quit my job. And and I just really wanted to quit my job. I was tired of working for someone else, just was not born to do that. And so that was honestly my first goal. I didn't have like a set income, but I remember before I joined, I'm probably a rare breed. Like before I joined, I looked at the income chart and I said, God, if I can just be enrolled, you know, making $1,100, that would be great. And my checks at the time were only like $500. So that was like really stretching it for me to get $1,000 a month. And so I told myself, I said, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I've never done this before, whatever, but I'm going to go for it. And I just heard the Lord tell me, like, you're going to be really successful in this. And so I never really got discouraged or anything like that. Only time I did is at my first rap party 2 weeks later. Nobody like really showed up, and it was like a complete disaster, and it was just really funny, and I almost quit that day, but that was like the only day I really almost quit. And so what I just, you know, I was able to quit my job in 2.5 months, which was life-changing for me. And I didn't know anything about like a 90-day push or any of those, you know, fancy terms, but I just gave myself 90 days, and in 2.5 months I did it. And that was really life-changing for me. I think that's when I realized, you know what, I really have my hands on something. And so early on, I made the switch in my mind that I could be successful in this. And I knew that it would take time. And God will always say to me, you need to work with the end in mind. And because my first check was $25 and my next check was, I think, $70. And then after that, it went into the 300s. And so I remember looking at my second check for $70. I was like, what the heck is this, God? You know, but I just kept going. And so I think I have a different story than a lot of people. Like I came in knowing that I would be successful, and I believed that all the way through.
That's amazing. That's so amazing. You just had that confidence. So I love it. My first check, I think, was $17.
Boom.
And then, so like, I wanted to ask you, because I know when I started, I would see these top earners and I would think, gosh, like it just must have been easy for them because it wasn't for me, right? So let me ask you, like, was it easy for you, or what did the journey kind of look like?
Oh my God.
People quit, like, all those things. Like, so tell us, I want to hear a little bit about the hard stuff, because I think there's a few people on the team that the last couple of months have been a little bit slow. They've had people quit. But you know what? I mean, that happens, right? And so I want you to kind of share a little bit about that.
Okay, the hard stuff. I like talking about this. So, in my first, I think it's my second year of business, because I started in May 2013. So I went Ruby. First of all, it took me 7 months to go Ruby. But I didn't look at it like, oh my God, I'm so behind. Like when I went Ruby, that was, it seems kind of hard because I was just like, man, everybody else is going Ruby around me, but I had one moment of like comparison. I think that's early on, God like crushed a lot of stuff with me, Sam. So like one thing I learned with comparison, I would be like, man, everybody's doing this. I got to get my first distributor until 2 months in. It was Cece. I didn't get my first distributor.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second because I love that. Because some of you're brand new and you're going for your Ruby bonus, and that's so exciting. And I would just say, go for it, run for it. But if you don't hit it, it's okay. Like it took you 7 months. Like I wouldn't have got the Ruby bonus either. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? These bonuses are awesome. Go for them, run for them, because people get them.
Yeah.
But just if you don't, that doesn't mean like, oh, it's not going to work for you. Because like this is I love that. Okay, keep going.
Yes. You can interrupt me whenever you want. So yeah, but when I went Ruby, the thing is, my checks, you're only supposed to be getting $599 at the time. My checks were like $1,000 plus. It was over Emerald checks.
That's crazy.
And that's when God taught me. I remember even when I first started, something that I had to learn that was kind of hard is like, okay, God, I was like me focused. I was just like, I want to quit my job and blah, blah, blah. And God checked me really quickly. He said, you're going to stay broke if you don't take the focus off of what this can do for you and focus on other people. Just wake up every day and say, how can I help people change their lives? And from that point on, I shifted my mindset and I didn't even look. And then when I started to compare, and all that stuff, he reminded me of the scripture that says, when I think David was like, I almost lost my way by looking to the people at the top or whatever. You guys read the Bible. I know it, but I forgot it. So, that scripture that says I almost missed my blessing basically because I was looking the other way and looking to the people at the top. And that was like so clear. I was like, okay, God's like, you'll miss your blessing if you keep looking to the people at the top. So just like focus on where you are, where I have you right now. And that's what I did. I stopped looking at everybody at the top and things like that. And I just said, I'll see y'all up there, but I'm not like stressing or anything. I'll get there. And that was my mindset, And so, I went Ruby in 7 months and my check was above average. And that's when I was like, okay, this is like really cool. So then, another hard thing I learned is when I was going Emerald, something that happened to me on the way to going Emerald and Diamond, because I promoted to Emerald and 24 hours later, I promoted to Diamond, which was really crazy. Awesome. And the crazy thing with that is on the way to that, a lot of my team quit, because people just be quitting around the holidays because they just lose their way and things get slow. Like this is seasons to this business, you guys. So you just have to remember that, there's seasons. And so, yeah. So anyway, long story short, people were quitting and stuff. And I remember I called my upline, Adrian, Safrantes, and I was like, what is going on? And I just feel burnt out and blah, blah, blah. And she just got on me and she was like, you need to start having fun in your business again. And you need to set up a system for yourself. And so I just rewired my whole business and I acted like I didn't even have a team. That sounds so horrible. But I had to stop focusing on the dead weight in my business, if that makes sense, So I had to just act like I was starting completely over. And I was just like, I'm going to get a brand new team then. Since y'all don't want to work, fine. And you know what started happening? I'm going to just keep it real with you. The people who weren't working, they started getting really mad that all of my attention was going to the new people. And I said, guess what? Me bringing in new people is either going to inspire you or make you want to punch me in the face. So if it inspires you to want to punch me and get your butt to work and I'll start working with you, you know? And so that's how those combos went. And some people left, some people stayed, but then, you know, February, another hard thing that happened, I was supposed to go Emerald. I would like work my butt off harder than I ever worked my entire life in this business. And I was supposed to go Emerald, and one lady, I was charting with her. She was one of my rubies. She was supposed to move some volume, like 30 BV, and she waited till like 5 minutes after 10. I cried and cried and cried and lost I didn't promote over like 30 BV because somebody didn't move some volume, you guys. And that was so hard, and I felt like cussing everybody out, and it was just really not okay. Like, I'm keeping it real with you. I was like, I can't believe this, God, you know, I worked so hard, and I wanted to beat her up, and it was just really not okay. And so, you know, I was just like, okay, that was really hard for me to be that close to a promotion and not get it. And I had to work through all of that. And I remember I was just like, okay, I'm going to get to work. And 3 weeks later, I went Emerald. And then 24 hours later, I got a 10K bonus. You know, I went Diamond. And then my first Diamond check was over $3,000, almost 4K. You know, so it's just like, if I've been through so many hard things. In the latest, if you guys haven't seen my presidential video, when I tried to rush the Lord and go presidential because I was so close, and then he snatched it away from me. And I can laugh about it now, but I was trying to rush God. You know, I was like in the E-suite, it said presidential, and it just, you know, I lost it. And it was just like, it was such a crazy day. And, you know, that was supposed to be a day of greatest failure for me, but it was actually a day of my greatest, you know, victory, because I was able to share that on Facebook and just encourage people to trust God's timing in this business. And, you know, I can probably say, like, you know, this summer I started making way above presidential checks as a triple diamond, you know. And so it's like God's faithfulness is just amazing. And I would say I've learned to not get caught up on titles and things. And I'd rather my bank account look like it than it say it in a, you know, a title. But, you know, that's how I think. But I'm just, yeah.
I know that one thing, you know, that I always heard is go for the bank, not the rank. I think so often.
Yes.
We see these titles, you know, when we start, we're like, I want to go Ruby, I want to go Diamond. And I mean, keep the goals, because you have to have a goal, right?
Yes,
but at the same time, don't get so hung up on it that if you miss it, you get discouraged, right? Because, I mean, God's timing is so perfect. It's always so perfect.
Yeah. And I remember even going double diamond in 2015, and I thought I was just rolling, you know? And I was like, okay, I'm about to go triple now. I didn't go triple until 9 months later, but I'm so glad God had me wait, because I believe that God has us grow into whatever leadership ranks we're in, you know. And 9 months later, I went triple, and I thought, you know, if I had promoted before that, I would have just got the 25K, but I ended up getting 50K in bonuses because I trusted God's timing. And so you just don't know what God has planned for you, and you just got to make it through this slow season or whatnot. It's like fall is coming. Fall doesn't ask you, hey, can I come, and can all the leaves fall off the trees, and can it get cold? No, like fall just shows up, and you better be ready. And so that's how seasons are in this business. It's going to show up. Be ready. It's going to pass, and you're going to, in January, everybody who worked right now and planted seeds right now, you're going to see that spring up January through May. So whoever, like, you have a great opportunity to become a top earner in the first quarter of the year. And I took advantage of that. While all these other people were crying a boo-hoo story, I got my butt to work before I was a top earner. And I was like, y'all can sit over there and boo-hoo and cry. I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to take your spot. And that's exactly what happened.
I love it. So I want to hear a little bit, like, you know, okay, so for the new distributor, the person that just signed up, because we have a few on right now, what would be your biggest piece of advice, like, just for a brand new person starting?
My biggest piece of advice is you need to be completely coachable. Like, that's a really, really big thing to me. I don't sign people if they're not coachable. And I turn people down all the time, not trying to sign some uppity something, because I'm not. But, like, I tell people, I ask them on the phone before I sign them, are you coachable, and are you willing to do what I say? Because if not, can't join me, because that's just extra stress. And so I would say, you're on here and you're just getting started, like, what you need to do is you need to be coachable, and you need to plug in, and you need to have the mindset that you're going to be successful. You know, I hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm going to try, you know, I'll try this out. I don't even sign people like that. I'll try it out. And that's just me. You know, sign people who you want to sign. But if you're going to try something, you're giving yourself room to fail. Don't even give yourself room to fail in that sense. Like, in your mind, say, you know what? I'm not trying this. Like, I have no plan B. This is my only plan to be successful in this business. And that's how I came in. You know, like, your mindset is so key. So I would say, get your mind together. Like, when I get off here, I went and bought some Post-its. And every year, like, I write my affirmations on Post-its and stick it on my wall. I remember as a double diamond, I wrote that I wanted to save $8,000 a month, and I was only making like $6K, you know, and that was really crazy for me. But by March, I was able to save over 10K a month, and I was making way above that 4 months later, you know. So I'm really big on affirmations. You got to write stuff down. You got to believe it. You got to declare it. And just run and be coachable and plug into your leadership in Sam and Rachel and all these amazing ladies. They know what they're doing.
I love it. Okay, I want to hear, this is so fun. It's so interesting. So, you know, I know when I first started, it's like I was kind of desperate just to sign anyone. And I know there's other people, right? And I've learned since then, like, but so I know there's probably people on here that they're just like, please, anyone sign with me. And it's so, and then you're talking right now about, no, you're not allowed to sign with me unless you're, you know.
I know.
I want to hear this. Like, tell me how you talk to your potentials, because I know there's people right now that have potentials they're talking to. How do you talk to them? Like, how do you close the deal?
Okay, so first things first, whenever people reach out to me, what I do is I went and I took the time, not saying you have to be on this level. I did this 3 years into my business, okay? But what I do is I like have these YouTube videos on YouTube, and I create these videos and I'm sharing my story on there. I did one video called my 5-minute success story, and then I did another video called whatever, it's called something, but go on my YouTube channel. Anyway, just explaining the business. And I send those to people. And I send those to people before I even get on the call. And I'll say, hey, you know, I have 2 quick videos that I want to share with you. Even in the inbox, when they inbox me, I say, okay, great. I'd love to speak with you. But first, I have 2 quick videos that I want to send to you that I want you to watch, and then let me know when you're done and if you're interested in being personally mentored by me. A lot of times people are like, I just watch the videos, but, you know, maybe I'm not interested. That's great. But then for the majority, I get a lot of people saying, oh my God, I just watched the videos. I'm inspired. I'm ready to join you. So at that point, if I know that they can't even take the time to watch videos for 8 minutes of their day and get back to me, then they're not ready to do this business, you know, because you have to have follow-up skills. Not saying that you can't learn those, but if you're ready to change your life, like my sponsor, I contacted her. And then I told her I'll join in 2 weeks. And then I told her, like, everything. You know, I was just going for it. Nobody had to convince me to do this business. So I don't believe in convincing anybody to become successful. If you broke, that should be enough convincing enough, okay? Aren't you tired of it? So, you know, that's how I feel. And so, you know, I send them these videos. And when they watch them and get back to me, then I schedule a call with them and say, I want to interview you, and I just want to hear your heart about how I can help you change your life, because you just watched 8 minutes of how it's changed my life, and it's not about me anymore. So I want to hear how this is changing your life. Then I get on the phone with them, and honestly, what I do is I just ask them what their why is. Like, why do you want to join me? How do you see this opportunity completely changing your life? And what are your dreams and goals, you know? Because this is a vehicle to help you. And once they say, you know, like, my why is da-da-da-da-da, if I get on the phone and hear that their why is not strong enough, I may keep asking them, or I may say, you know what, honestly, I don't feel like you may be ready for this right now, but maybe you need to become a loyal customer first, and I can keep talking to you, and then you can join my team. So I just stopped being afraid of saying things like that, because I used to be very afraid, and I used to bring up the auto shipment and, you know, be afraid to bring that up, you know. And so that's what I do. But before the videos, I would spend my time on 3-way calls a lot. I'm a 3-way queen. I don't let anybody who joins my team get on the call by themselves, because you don't know what you're doing, you know. And so, yeah, I would just get on 3-way calls and just ask them, like, what are your goals? Are you coachable? You know, things like that. And I would say, you guys, don't be afraid to interview people. I don't care if you're a distributor and don't have any DTs. You have to treat yourself like you are a diamond at least, you know. And in my mind, that's how I thought when I joined this business. I have to act like a diamond, I'll become one. And that's how your mentality has to be. And so, I remember when I walked into the Cheesecake Factory before I started working with It Works, I was tired of working at In-N-Out Burger, right? So I walked in the Cheesecake, said, hey, I want to work here, filled out an application. They took me to 3 interviews and still didn't hire me. I'm not saying you have to be like that in this business, but interview people, interview people. And I'm all about quality over quantity. I'd rather sign 3 people, the steps to success, who are going to complete the steps to success and work their business, and sign 10 people and only 3 completed anyway, So that's how I think.
I love it. That's so good. I know everybody's probably going to exit this video when we're done and go and watch the YouTube. I know I am.
I have blue hair then.
I love it. That's so good. And so another thing I wanted to talk to you about was what keeps you going? Like, we talk about how it's so important, dream boards and having a vision for your future. What keeps you going? How do you stay hungry? Because you have to be hungry, right? Like, so what keeps you hungry?
What keeps me hungry is, at first it was really easy to stay hungry. I'm just going to keep it 100 real with you guys. Like, it was really easy to stay hungry because I had like really big whys, like I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with my family of 5. I was sharing a room with my brother and sister. I would have to go out to my car that was broke in the driveway and, do my calls late at night. Like, I sacrificed a lot. And so my why was to move into my own house, and to get a new car and things like that, and to be able to take my family on vacations. Well, I've been able to do all of those things. And so recently, the past 90 days or so, I've been in a weird season, if I just keep it real, and I had to reevaluate what my why is, because the blessing is I've reached a point where I crossed off like everything on my dream board. And I realized that green carpet that God was like, girl, you are not dreaming right now. And I was like, my bad. Okay. So, because I was just feeling like really stagnant. I was like, not to sound arrogant, but I just got everything I prayed for, which is a blessing. But God was like, it's time to dream again. And that's been my motto the past month or so. Like, it's time to dream again. And so I did a new dream board. I started to just dream bigger. Like, my thing on top of my list right now is to buy my new home, my first home. And I don't know, I have to dream even bigger. So that's how I stay hungry, is like your why will keep you hungry. And, your why is going to keep you hungry, and you have to have vision. And the word is so real. Like, without vision, the people perish. If you don't have vision for why you're doing this business, you're going to start perishing. And you're either going to blame it on Sam and Rachel on them, or you're going to take responsibility and say, you know what, I need to dream bigger and all that good stuff. So that's what keeps me going.
It's so good. And then I wanted to ask you, because we talked about how you talk to potential distributors. So what would you, I love your Facebook, by the way. Again, if you guys are not following her, follow her, because her posts are just amazing. And it's so important. Like, if we're working our business on social media, it's so important that we're not spamming people, right? And I've never seen you spam. You're just like, you're amazing on social media.
Oh, thank you.
I would love for you. Everybody, please go follow her and watch what she does. But share some tips, like share some of your, like, what would you teach your team on how to post on social media? Like, kind of, yeah.
Yes, I love social media. It's such a great tool if you use it correctly, and it's a horrible tool if you don't know how to use it. Yeah. Early on, you know what? Like, first things first, especially for you newbies, just start posting and be ignorance on fire, okay? And then, like, your sponsor and leader will come tell you probably shouldn't do that, okay? So first things first, like, just start posting, about your business. And that's what I did. And you guys know I'm going to sound super spiritual and deep right now, but I really asked the Lord to teach me how to build my social media, because that was a huge way I had to grow it. And so he started teaching me things like this. Like, there's different high peak times on social media, which a lot of you guys may know about. But God taught me the 4 high peak times. Like, in the morning, you need to post in the mornings, while everybody's on their way to work. You need to post during the lunchtime hour when everybody's taking a break from work and they're sitting on their phones eating lunch. You need to post when everybody leaves work and they're in traffic and they shouldn't be looking at their phones, but they are. And then, post at nighttime when everybody's going to sleep and they're in their bed and they're looking at their phone. So that's one thing I did consistently. The biggest thing is I posted during those high peak times. A lot of you guys may say, well, I'm at work all day. You know, like, how do I do that? And I was at work too. And what I did is I would take pictures. So for instance, I got my hair done and my makeup on one day. I still do this. I'll go change this to 5-inch work shirts and use those for the next 5 months. And y'all don't even know. Like, I do that stuff all day long. And I'll like do a different post. Or I'll go downstairs and do like a whole photo shoot with all my products and post it a year later. Like, I got stacks on stacks of stuff to post. And, you know, like, I don't do it that day. Like, I like have stuff in my phone. And so I would say consistently make sure that you're posting at least, you know, I personally say 4 times a day during those high peak times. If you post like during 2 and 3 p.m., nobody's really on social media. And then you may be like, I'm not getting likes. It's not about the likes, but then it is if you view likes as potentials. So every like is a potential to me. And so that's why I love likes. And then also you need to make sure I talk to my team about branding yourself. Like, what are you passionate about outside of It Works? It has nothing to do with It Works. Like for me, a lot of people came to my business through my Be the Standard ministry, you know, because I love celibacy and things like that. And I really speak out about it. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. That's me. That's what I'm called to. So I talk about those things, and a lot of people come through that. And then lately I've been doing, like, God told me to go vegan. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just market this vegan thing. And I've been getting, my business has blown up since I went vegan. Like, I'm tapping into a whole nother community. And so I told my team, especially since they changed the algorithms on Facebook and stuff, it may look like, you know, like I'm not really posting about my business, but I'm going to sound really funny. But I told my team I can post about dog doo-doo. And guess what? Everybody who likes the picture of the dog doo-doo, I'm going to inbox them and I'm going to be like, hey, girl, so I saw you like this picture of the dog doo-doo post, and I have an opportunity I want to share with you. So, you know, when can you talk tonight? Like, it's not a game. I don't care. I can post about yellow walls. Guess what? You're going to get an inbox from me, and I'm going to be like, girl, saw you like my picture about these yellow walls. I have something I love to share with you. You know, are you free tonight? That's all I say.
Anybody who likes your stuff, no matter what it is, even not It Works related.
Yep. And I actually get more, you know, like there's one video that I really love is by Jade Hooper, Instagram training. Like, that's the video I have everybody who comes into this business watch within their first week and take notes and get back to me that they took notes. That video is like a game changer. Jade Hooper's Instagram training. And I love that she just talks about the F's of social media, you know, fun and food and friendship and family and all that stuff. So I just try not to be anybody else. You know what? People want authenticity. And the more that you are yourself, the more that people are going to be drawn to you. So I would say on social media, find what makes you come alive. And another thing I really learned is from Shailene Johnson. If you guys have never heard of Shailene Johnson, like, go get your lives all the way together and go look her up, because she is amazing. And she has something called 30daypush.com for organization, which I have my whole team going through again, 30daypush.com, but her name is Shailene Johnson, and it's 30push.com, but that's what organization, but it'll help you get your life together. And then, but she goes over like marketing. And one thing she said is, you know, find your tribe. Like, what can you give people that's like information to you, but to everybody else, they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So like, there's some people on my team there's a girl on my team who loves to cook. I said, well, let's market the heck out of this then. Like, first you need to come up with a hashtag. Then you need to start posting your recipes and you in the kitchen. Yes, it has nothing to do with It Works. And guess what? Her business took off and she went diamond just from that alone. And so, like, learn to post about who you are and what you do. People are nosy, so give them something to be nosy about. That's what I tell my team.
That's so good. I love that, because it is so important to be authentic and to be you. And one thing that I know, I did it when I first started, but like, we'll copy and paste someone else's post completely, and it's not authentic and right? And so that's so good about branding yourself. I love that. And so, you know, just encourage everybody on tonight, whatever it is that makes you, whether it's, you know, cooking or whatever it is, like, share that with people. They want to see you. And so I love that. I wanted to ask you, finally, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Okay. How do you get over like a slump. So for the people that are kind of just feeling like maybe they're stuck, like they've been in a while, they just feel stuck. Like what would you recommend to get through that?
First, I would recommend like acknowledging how you feel first, right? Because a lot of times we can go through and just be in this la la land, like, man, I'm not feeling like this. Just acknowledge, like, you know what, God, I've been in a slump. I've been really in a funky place here, you know. And so I would acknowledge it, and then what I would do is just get your mindset together, whatever you have to do. Because about 2 months ago, I kind of got into a slump, you know, even though it was great. Like, but after I went presidential and all that stuff happened, like the devil really got me in a bit of a slump, and I had to pull myself out of it with the Lord. And I didn't stop posting this stuff though. I kept working, but I was like, my mind was in a slump, and I wasn't working to my full potential. Okay. And so what I did is I got my mindset together, and that's through the word of God. And then it's also like, I started listening to Joel Osteen every day when I take a shower. I started just talking to myself and believing things about my business and things like that. So I would say to make sure you plug back in. A lot of times when people are in slumps, they like unplug from the team pages and things like that. And you get into shame, or you start blaming your sponsor and upline. Like I say, take responsibility for what you are going through and say, you know what, my business is mine. I'm an independent distributor. So if I'm failing, it's nobody else's fault but mine. And the crazy thing is, you know, I didn't lose weight or all that kind of stuff, but my mindset just wasn't good. And so you have to surround yourself with the right people, I would say, and make sure you get rid of all negativity on your social media and timeline. Make sure that you that anybody on the team who you've been in a slump with and like, yeah, we're in a slump together, misery loves company, like get out of that, you know, like get out of that whole little shindig you got going on, and tell them, you know what, I'm ready to, you know, get back to work, so I'm going to have to stop talking to you. Things like that, you know, and just keep it real with them. And yeah, but mindset is everything. You guys just get back to work. That, you know what, the only thing that trumps a slump is some action. Okay. So you gotta like get to work, get into action mode. And one thing I had my team do, a couple weeks ago, I did this how to relaunch your business video on social media on my page. If you haven't watched that, it's a good video to watch. But one thing that I said is, God told me one day, he was like, okay, write down everything you were doing when you first started your business, and then put a check next to everything you're still doing. Y'all, I was only doing one thing. That's a hot mess. I was only doing one thing still, you know, and I was just like, this is crazy, you know, so I just got back to work. And since I have, I've started just, you know, attracting people, and action attracts people, you know, so that's what I would say.
That's so good. Okay, so what would you say are the 5 things that you do every day to grow your business?
5 things. You got some good questions, just like Oprah. Okay, so 5 things I do every day. What I like to do, first things first, I like to wake up, and it's easy to just get on your phone right away and get on social media right away and all that stuff. So I make sure that I spend time with God, and I journal just to keep myself sane. And I personally don't start working my business till 11 a.m. every day, because I had to set boundaries. So I would just wake up and answer all these texts and blah, blah, blah. So I set boundaries in my team, and I don't start working till 11 a.m. And I take the morning to just spend time with God and have personal development time and all that stuff. You can do that at night, but I do it in the morning to start my day. And then another thing that I do every day is a power hour on Facebook and a power hour on Instagram. I try to, and, you know, following people and just interacting with people and things like that. I used to be really big on scripts, and I got out of that because, you know, relationships is what builds businesses. And so I take the time to do that, have a power hour. Also, I like to make sure that I am doing, I'm posting, you know, on social media. That's something very important to do, which may sound really cliche, but a lot of people don't do that. And then another thing that I make sure I do every day, which may sound weird, is I use my products. You know, like there's so many distributors who don't use their products. It's crazy to me, you know? So use your products, because the more you start using your products and feeling better about yourself, the more people will see that. And when your confidence increases, their confidence to trust you, to join your team, or to order from you will increase, you know? So if you're not confident in yourself, then they're going to be like, I'm not joining somebody who doesn't know where they're going, or you're not even using the products. So I make sure I use the products every day. And then fifth thing, I'm trying to think here. I could make something up and say charting, but then I would be lying. So, I don't know. I just work.
Every day.
Blitz and get to, that is something I honestly do. I blitz people. Really, I really do. I blitz people. I'm really big on that. So.
That's so good. And so I wanted to ask, we're not going to keep it too much longer, but I know you just moved here. Woohoo! Ready to go to new job. But okay, so one thing that I hear a lot when I sign people is, well, I don't know anyone, or they move and I don't know anyone. And so it's that whole like, there's no one I can talk to because I don't know anyone. So what would you say, because you just moved, so you're like in a new city and all that, like what would you say is the biggest tip to just get out there and start meeting people, or to grow your business regardless if you know people?
Oh, yeah, I love this question. That's just a big fat excuse that you need to get over. You're probably afraid to talk to people and you're using I don't know anyone as an excuse, so you need to stop saying that. My sponsor lives in D.C. My whole team, I didn't have a team, out when I joined in the Bay Area. Like, my whole team is all in D.C. Jennifer and Ronnie and all of them are in D.C. So I could have been like, oh, my God, I don't have anybody out here. I didn't have anybody to help me with my first party and things like that. And I just got on YouTube, and I learned things and I plugged into my team page and I just went for it. And so I didn't use the excuse that my whole team lived all the way on the East Coast. I just got to work, and so I would say if you want to work, like, you're going to work. It doesn't matter where anybody lives, you're going to get to work. And so, things I'm doing now that I just moved here, like, I use social media a lot. So it's like the same thing. You can work from anywhere. So I don't care if I just got back from Atlanta, I was working there. I can go to anywhere and I'm still going to work the same. So I would say to just like get over that in your mind. And I tell people also who say, well, everybody's doing it and there's nobody left to talk to. I tell people there's like a church or a liquor store in every corner, but you don't see everybody going to the same church or liquor store, So it's just like people. When I wake up every day, I say, how can I post about the greens that makes people want to come to me? I'm not trying to steal people or anything. I'm like, how can I attract people to me instead of them going to someone else? Mm-hmm. And so I take time on my posts and stuff, right? And I take time when I'm blitzing people. They may have heard about the rap, I don't know how many times, but when I talk to them, they want to join me. That's how I talk and that's how I believe. And hey, you may have been to a rap party, but when you come in, I do your rap party, you're going to want to sign up because of who I am and what I bring to your life. So that's how I think and that's how I carry myself. And it's forget in the past and look into the future. And what do you bring to people's lives that nobody else brings?
I love it. I love it. We just did social media training with some I don't know if you ever at Bose, and he said the exact same thing. Like, you're selling yourself. Like, you're not selling a wrap, you're selling you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right on. It's so good. If anybody else has questions, just type it in the chat and we would love to answer you.
Okay. How many times do you complete the steps to success in a month?
Honestly, girl, like, I signed my sister as a DT last month in my busy months. Like, I may complete it 1.5 times or, 2 times, but, like, I stopped stressing over that because I see these other people, like, I could be like, oh, my God, like, I suck. I'm not completing it, signing 20 DTs a month. And I learned that signing DTs is not my strong strength. I'm not a mass recruiter, but when I sign people, I really pour into them and I make sure they know how to complete the steps. And so.
Do you complete your steps, though, every month faithfully?
No, I don't.
No? Not even 3 DTs a month?
Sometimes I haven't. I have not.
What's your method of then making money in this business?
My method of making money in this business is I really train people how to complete their steps. So for instance, a lot of people sign people and they just start placing under them and stuff. And the reason why my checks have always been above average is I didn't even know I could place until I was going Emerald. Okay. So like, I really am big on teaching people, like, instead of me placing, giving you 2 loyal customers so I can get fast start qualified or 4 customers or whatever, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to get on the phone with you. I'm going to monitor your Facebook page and things like that. And I'm going to really teach you how to become a leader. And so even though I don't sign up a bunch of people, the people that I sign, they build crazy organizations that are like very rooted because of how I train them. So especially during like the peak season, like I sign up people, and a lot of them I tell you, look, in 30 days, I'm going to teach you how to get 4,000 GV. And guess what? It really does happen, because that's all loyals, like straight up loyals and DTs bringing in loyals and completing their steps. And so, yeah, that's just me as a leader, like a top runner. I don't get caught up like, man, I didn't complete my steps. Okay. Like, at least I gave it my all, and my volume is still real crazy.
So you work to complete your steps, but then you teach your team to complete their steps to success too.
Yes.
And it works.
Yes. It's about leading from the front, you know, and I'm real with them. Like, hey, y'all, these are my goals. I'm going to really push to complete them. But if I don't, okay. Like last month I signed, I think 6 loyals and 1 DT, you know, and so it's like, I'm not going to beat myself over that. But the 1 DT I signed, like my little sister, like I trained the mess out of her. So now she's like a triple OG right now, you know, going Ruby. So, you know, that's how I do that.
Yeah. I like it. You know, we were just talking about, we did a Teams in the last week, and we were just talking about that. And we said, you know, it's so, again, we want to have goals, and my goal every month is steps to success. But at the same time, like, I don't ever want to get caught up in, you know, someone being a number. Like, and I said, like, we woke up every day and just said, whose life can we change today?
Right.
And that's the goal, you know, and if we can do our steps or double our steps, awesome. But the goal is just, who can we change their life, you know, and helping people. So there was a question asked, how do you train your new DTs then?
Okay, so how I train them is before, like after I send the videos, it starts, I believe training DTs starts the moment they say they want to join your team. That's when I start training people. And so I send them an email called Welcome to It Works. And I tell them, like, you need to make a list of 100 before you even officially sign up, and show it to me. You need to get on YouTube and watch these people. And take notes on their videos. You need to make sure you come up with a name for your business, because I'm going to teach you how to go to GoDaddy and make a mask it to your page. You know, there's a list of things that I teach them. And I have a YouTube video called How to Go Ruby or whatever. And so I have them watch that Ruby video, because I have them come in with the mindset, I'm going Ruby in 30 days. Does that always happen? No, but then their volume is like where it needs to be when they go Ruby. Instead of having 2,000 GV, they have 4K and above, right? When they go Ruby, which you need to maintain. And so the training starts there. And then when someone officially joins, I just take them through the e-suite. Within the first 24 hours, I'm walking through the compensation plan with them and explaining how to make money, because that's really big, you know, how to make money. I take them through, you know, like they have them watch the training. I make sure I, you know, show them how to post on social media for their first post and things like that. And, you know, have them just plug in, and I tell them, hey, within the next 48 hours, we need to be on like 5 to 10 calls, and I need to be on 3-ways with you, and we need to be closing people and signing them up. So, you know, I tell them, It Works says you have a whole month to get 4 customers. With me, you have a week. So let's do it. You know, so I put them on a really, really fast pace. And before people join me, I tell them I work really quick, okay? I understand journeys, but I like to, you know, work with urgency. So if you don't want to work with urgency, don't join me, because I'm like, ooh, go somebody who's blowing their nose. So, yeah. So that's what I did.
Just mute real quick if you're unmuted. All right. So next question was, when you first started, how did you sign distributors? Because like what they said is you couldn't use something like I make X amount a month. So how did you draw people in before you started making money?
I shared all the people that were making money. So if you don't have a story, share somebody else's story, you know? And so that's all I did. I came in when, you know, a bunch of people were going triple and ambassador and all this stuff. I was sharing their stories all the time. If I saw somebody paid, you know, for their gas with 4 reps, I shared that. You know, I was just sharing stuff over and over and over again. And also, I would share my own posts, and I would say things. Even when I was working, there's one post that just makes me super emotional. I was sitting at the pool at our apartment complex, and I said, you know, in the next 3 months, I'm going to be able to quit my job and work from home and be my own boss. And I didn't get no likes on that or anything. Guess what? I posted 2.5 months later. I quit my job. My inbox was blowing up, you know? And I didn't mention that, oh, I'm making money and all this. Like, I was just making like $500 to $700, but in Rap Cash, I was killing it. So that's what I did as well. Like, whenever I went in public, I was like, hey, I just went and got some groceries. I talked to this girl. She's a cashier. She wants to join my team. I'm so excited. Like, I was doing that nonstop. And I didn't say nothing about money, like, ever. Like, I was just posting me working my business. And that's what attracted people to me. And rap parties, I was having rap parties every single weekend, sometimes twice in one day. So I was bringing in like $400 to $600 every weekend just doing rap parties for like a very long time, almost a year.
That's awesome. Let me see if there's other questions. So how do you get your raps on people? So how do you get people to do parties?
Oh, yeah. So on Facebook one day, I think it was like 2 years ago, Pam posted this status, and it was from this dude, and it said, hey, I'm looking for someone who would love to try rap for free, and you came to my mind. If I rapped you for free, would you be interested in hosting a rap party? So what I did is I went and I made a list of like everybody who lives within an hour of me, and I sent them that message. And I got, maybe out of 70 messages, I got about 40 responses back. And out of the 40 responses, I got about maybe 15 to 20 rap parties scheduled from that. And so first you got to understand that this is a numbers game. You know, if you message 100 people, you probably get like 10, right? And so that's what I did. And I just reached out to everybody who lived within an hour of me, and I sent them that message. Hey, I'd love to host a party. I'd love to rap you for free. You were one of the first people who came to my mind. How would you like to try a free rap and in return host a party for me? And when they say, yeah, I say, cool. So you don't need, all this big spread of food and stuff. Just bring some water. And I'll bring everything else and bring the people and some water. Keep it simple. So that's what I did to schedule a bunch of parties. And then what you do is you follow up with the people from those parties, and you say, hey, I saw you at so-and-so's party. It's been 72 hours. How are your results? Would you like to try a free rap? So that's how you keep stuff going.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know I didn't grow through parties. So
okay.
I grew through social media. So, parties have always been, but I've done them, but they've always been scarier for me. So I love hearing how you did it. And my sister's also a big party person, and so is Rachel. So I'm like, I'm feeding off this, They were asking if you could repeat that message real quick, the one that you send to people to throw.
Okay, I'll type it in here.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on, let me think. So, hey, hold on, how did I say it? Oh, hey, I was looking. 1 second. One sec, guys. Interested. Hold on, interested. I'm trying to have no typos.
Oh, don't worry, girl.
Okay, so that's
you have a YouTube.
I do. It's Ashley Harris is my name on YouTube.
Okay, and then how do you spell it? Just because somebody was saying over here, they said they'd like to be under your mentorship.
Girl, you're under some good mentorship. No, we don't do that.
I know, but they said that they could benefit from learning more from you. So your YouTube, is it open to the public for people to
Yeah, it is.
I'm not
super. It's Ashley Harris, just my first and last name. I'm not super duper big on YouTube. So what I would say is, like, I have videos on there, but go to my Facebook page and go through my videos. I do live trainings on my Facebook page like all the time. And they're, recorded on my page. So just go through my videos and you'll find a ton of training on there.
Here she is.
Yes, that's me. So yeah, go on there. My YouTube channel, like, I use it mainly for, those opportunity videos, but go to my Facebook page. That's my jam.
Awesome.
All right, girl. Well, if anyone else has questions, now's the time. We don't want to keep Ash super duper late.
Oh, you're fine, girl.
Thanks so much for coming on here and doing this. You're so awesome.
You are so welcome. It's such an honor. Seriously. You ladies are great.
Aw.
All right. One more question. How do you work with urgency without sounding pushy?
How do I work with urgency? Okay, without sounding pushy, I think it all boils down to your confidence level, right? So when I'm talking to people, I don't say, well, would you like to order something? I say, girl, when do you want to get your order started? You know, like I don't give people an option to like tell me no. Like you really have to be bold to like tell me no, like for real. Or, you know, so I like when I'm talking to people and I'm blitzing them, I'm just like, I don't say, can I have your number? I say, girl, let me have your number. I like tell people what to do, you know? And so that's how I do that without sounding pushy. I kind of have a girlfriend conversation, or if I'm talking to a dude, I'm just like, dude, you know, like you need this. So what's your number? Like I'm going to call you tonight. So I'm always telling people what I'm going to do, and they just go along with it. And I schedule calls with them, and I don't take like, say I meet someone in public or whatever, like I don't schedule a call a week from there. Like I do a call within 24 hours because I don't want them to forget who I am. And so that's really big, just working with urgency. And when you take yourself seriously and people see that you mean business, then you won't have that problem where you call somebody and they ignore you and things like that. Like I don't be chasing nobody down, and I never have, even since I was an executive. Like I've never called people and they ignore me and all that. I don't go through that because people know I'm serious about my time. And so then this may sound whatever, but when they call me back, if they have been ignoring me and they call me back, I'll ignore them for like a week and be like, girl, I was busy working my business. My bad. You know, I have so many people to get to, but now I have time to talk to you. So are you really ready to talk or what? That's what
I love it. There's no desperation. It's complete confidence. Like,
yes,
you want to be on my team, period. And if you don't, like, I don't have time for you, kind of. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. I think all of us are going to go away like feeling just more confident and bold,
Yes.
you know, and all that. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're so welcome.
You just poured out so many gold nuggets. What's your last like tip of getting through this fall and winter and being able to boom in the spring?
Okay, so what I would say is, can I answer this last question, Sam?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, about loyals, because that's really near and dear to me. So I used to have this problem, and then I'll answer that. Like I used to have this thing where people were ordering. I remember, you know, they would quit after 3 months. And so you have to stop saying like after 3 months, you can turn off your auto ship, or this is only for 3 months and things like that. Make sure that you say, yeah, you know, it's monthly for the next 90 days, but most people continue to order past that because they just love our products, you know, and make sure you set up a specific plan for people and you follow up with them. So that's how you stop people from turning off their auto shipments after 3 months. Okay. But what I would say to everybody is, you know, during this time, you know, yes, it could be slow and things like that, but you have to change your marketing. Okay. So the holidays, I was at the store the other day, and this goes along with what I'm saying. So I was at the store, and like, for instance, I have this candle here. All the fall candles are coming in, all this stuff. And I came home and I said to my mom and sister, it's crazy. Like, I just spent like $50 on candles and decorations for the fall. And they know when to come out with different marketing. Like, they're not marketing for the summer anymore. They're marketing for the fall and the winter. And so first thing I would say is you will keep your momentum going if you change your marketing on social media. And so people love like fat fighters. Like, tomorrow I'm going to do a post like, hey, okay, everybody had barbecue and stuff for Labor Day. Who's ready to wrap or get some fat fighters? You know, like, you need to make sure your marketing changes towards whatever season that we're in. And a lot of times during the winter, people need skincare because their skin gets really dry and things like that. So market the skincare more, you know, so change that. And then I would just say to just keep going for it. Whoever continues to plant seeds, I've seen this for 3 years, okay? Whoever plants seeds right now during the fall and the winter reaps a huge harvest during the springtime, okay? If you just slack off and let things get to you and you slow down, you will not see the harvest that you could have seen if you just kept working and planting seeds. So this is a time to plant as many seeds as you can, because guess what? After the holidays, everybody's going to feel fat and broke, okay? So you need to, like, be the person that they come to that's like, oh, my God, I know I ignored you 3 months ago, but I need to lose weight. Why is everybody at the gym in January? Because they feel fat, okay? Why is everybody trying to like pay off stuff? Because they just spent all their money for Christmas. So so that's what I do. Like, I know that people are going to be there, so I plan as many seeds as I can. You can tell me no, that's fine, because in January, you're going to be hitting me up. So, and I've seen it happen every single year. So you can be the next top earner in this company in the first quarter of the year if you work your business and don't slow down right now.
I love it. I love it. You know, and I know for me, when my first year in the business, like my goal was to be able to pay for Christmas in cash. Like I've got kids, their birthdays 2 days after Christmas, my twins,
Wow.
so we're going to like debt, you know, the holiday season. And so like, you know, that was my goal. And that there's people right now that are thinking that they're already stressed about thinking about, you know, maybe they're going to be traveling for the holidays or all those gifts and all of that. And they're already stressed thinking about the money. And so, you know, that's a great way to market too. Like, hey, you can pay for Christmas in cash. Let's get you started now. So yeah, it's just thinking about what our audience is going to be needing in these next few months. So, so good.
That's so big. Just put yourself in their position and you'll win. That's what I do. So yes, you're right on it, Sam. Like I started using the hashtag cash for Christmas like last week. Like you got to start changing your marketing there. Yeah.
It's so good. Wow. Thank you so much. This was amazing. I know we all got so many amazing nuggets. You can tell you're red.
Yes.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I'm a total yellow, so I needed some of this, like, you know.
I need some yellow, so pray for me.
That's so funny. But yeah, thank you so much. Rachel, did you have anything else that you wanted to say?
No, just thanks so much. I think everyone was really inspired and we're excited to go into the fall and make it boom. I think fall is all what you make it to be. You know, Candace, Samantha, your sister, made a great video just talking about that she came in, she joined this business towards the fall season and she was charted for double diamond by the end of it, you know? So, I mean, I think you make it what you want it to be. So if you are ready to go all in and you plant every seed that you can, you're harvesting too, because you were already planting now and you're planting in the summer time. I mean, you're going to have a huge fall and, which then sets you up for a huge January, February, March, April. So you define what you want it to be, you know, and then you reap the benefits of it. You get the ripple effect of it later. So I'm excited. It's going to be an awesome fall.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
Thank y'all. Yes, and Rachel, you're so right. Like, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Like, you guys, she is so for real. Please just work, because every year your check, like my check goes up. I'm sure they can attest to it. Like my check goes up $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 just in the first quarter, like every single month. It's really crazy. Like plant those seeds and you'll see a huge increase, like for real. Please.
You just said a $5,000 raise, guys.
Yeah, for real. It shocks me. It shocks me every year. It's crazy how much your check goes up.
Get a $5,000 raise in just a few months. You cannot do that in the 9-to-5 world. And the last thing I would say for all of you working people, don't let your paycheck get in the way of earning $20,000 a month. What you could be making right now, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, you can be making monthly in this business. So it will change your life. Just keep running, keep doing everything that she said to do tonight. Yay. Awesome. All right,
Thank
Sam.
you so much. We so appreciate it. Candace is saying her check went up $10K from January to February. Last year it was $6K. So yeah, it's crazy. Things can change like that. But it's just what you're doing, what you're working. You know, we have to be consistent. We have to keep working hard, and it's going to be so worth it. I mean, even the fact that your Ruby checks were over 1,000, that's amazing, you know, and now your triple checks are like a press check, you know, and so yeah, you guys just work hard. It's so worth it. So thank you guys for being on tonight and having your Labor Day evening with us. Thank you, Ash. You're so incredible. We so appreciate you and taking the time to just get us fired up again. And so we love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.